So did you throw out that huge pile of books from last month that we paid a lot of money for and had nothing for?
Are we talking about the third ed AOS books or whatever?
Yeah, sure. Whatever.
I mean, I had to move last year's 40K books out of the way first, and yeah. And the card packs and the Broken Realms books.
Yeah. Hey guys, welcome to another Lords of War Games and Hobbies video. I'm Chris, this is Jay, and we do these videos a couple times a week. We talk about random industry news. We talk about stuff we think is important in the kind of retailer side of the hobby, and we try to give some perspective on what the hell's going on at your local hobby shop. And hopefully you guys like that stuff. And today we're gonna talk about some of the frustrations about where we're at with printed materials and sort of the impacts that it has on your like a local retail shop, and maybe why the new digital wave is not the worst thing in the world.
No, we're starting to see some very tiny baby steps from the big guy, Papa Gio,
Big Daddy,
of what could be, a more digital future, which on one hand, I'm definitely like hoping for. Now I think I still agree with most people, or like there's a lot of rational thought that says like, look, they're not going to replace the books fully because they sell a lot of them. But you never know. Maybe they'll get a taste and be like, oh, this is good. So the main point is they revealed in their preview of the Skaven and Stormcast book that they will not have a points page in them.
Yep.
And that a lot of or almost all the content, at least from the data sheets or the war scrolls, are going to be basically identical to the faction packs they just released. So if you bought a faction pack, that's awesome, because you're just like, I don't have to replace these cards. Yeah. Which I think is actually first time in a while where that you're like this.
Wow! Thank you for giving me more than 1 month with these.
Yes.
That seems good.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And then the points are just going to be, I guess they're going to QR code you to a page that they'll maintain.
Yeah.
Which, again, for those of you that, I don't know how many of you actively play AOS or 40K, like, let's say, current edition, using the apps on your phones, since they started doing that, I haven't looked back.
Look, ultimately, like, a lot of, I mean, there's a good chunk of our viewers that are our age, but there's also people a bit younger and a bit older. So like this analogy is for the people that are our age and older. Unfortunately, younger people will be like, what is he talking about? But this reminds me a little bit of like the banking revolution, where like, we were all very used to going to the bank and to having to do everything at the bank. Yeah. And slowly and subtly the banks all pushed people online forcefully over time. To the point where like there's almost no reason to go to a bank now, and you can kind of do everything on your phone or on your computer, or call in or whatever, right? So to me there might be a similar path there, or there already is, where there's like these like subtle things that are kind of pushing people towards the digital products already, because like the printed experience is a little, I want to say, it's still a high quality experience, but it is a bit punitive. In terms of your pocketbook. Sure.
That was a really nice way of saying it's expensive. That was good. I like that. I was like waiting for him to finish the line. I was like, it's a little punishing.
I said punitive.
I know you said. I'm aware. I'm being the crass one here.
Oh yeah, that's your role. Yeah. Oh man, yeah.
It's just a little bit punitive to my wallet.
Here's the thing: you guys at home, like, you got to chuck out your books or whatever. Like, you might have, like, if you play 40K or AOS like pretty seriously, you collect a couple factions. Maybe you have to chuck a couple 2-3 books every couple years. We're chucking barrels of books out. Like, that's true. It's
hundreds of pounds of books.
Like when you see that happen from our angle, it's like you're kind of doing a bit of math, and you're like, there's just thousands of hobby shops across North America. Sure. You're like,
tons and tons.
Sweet
of books.
Jesus, it's a lot of waste, right? Yeah. And I think that's where like I kind of reel a little bit at it. it's not the healthiest thing
You
in the
know,
world.
they're stripping the internet from one of its main weapons by taking the points page out.
They're de-arming them.
Now they can't come in and say, "Oh, my book's invalid right away" or whatever.
That's true.
They still have the errata.
Yeah, but now remember, I can just flip to the argument now. I'm getting less. I'm not getting the points in the book.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, that's what's going to happen.
So,
They're going to flip right to the. They don't even get points in here.
Yeah,
$70.
I can move the goalpost wherever I want. Watch me. Yeah.
Yeah. I think the viewers that get upset because I make too many GW videos, and
well,
and
no,
when
they
criticize
call us
GW. I'm also like, whoa, how dare you?
Oh my god. Yeah,
Anyway.
like we're just standing for Games Workshop all the time, but then we have obviously always have criticisms. I criticize everybody. Like, I think
Especially me.
every company, every company, including Lords of War Games and Hobbies, can be better, right? Can learn from things, and I think that's a really healthy way to look at things. It's also interesting to talk about. Like, let's be honest.
Sure.
So we're at this place now where the physical product is still a thing. The ask to buy the physical products is the highest it's ever been. It's, for Canadians, it's about $110 if you buy everything, like the book and cards on launch day.
Oh yeah.
So it's a big ask, and then that comes with unlocking the digital product. And to me, that's the main kind of benefit now of the physical book, is that you get that code. And my line of thinking is sort of just like, well, if that's the thing that I care the most about now, why can't I just buy the code?
Right.
And why, and I'm always like,
True.
let's support small businesses. Being one myself, a little selfish, I guess. Here I am standing for the little guy or whatever, the micro business, as we like to call ourselves, micro brewery, micro business.
Yeah.
There's no reason why they couldn't just make physical codes that we could buy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get into the. I guess. I don't know. Are they easy to copy, counterfeit?
Sure, but I mean,
Yes.
a book, you could open a book and just get the code and take a picture too, just as easily. So I don't know if it's any
At least they're
harder.
wrapped, I guess. But yeah, you could wrap the. I mean, yeah.
I'm just trying to hold on to the tiny few dollars.
They could make them. They
but
could make them little envelope-y gift card looking things, and then we keep them behind the till, and we sell
maybe we have a little thing that spins or whatever, and those little stupid knick-knack things or whatever.
Yeah.
You're like spinning to find your codex or whatever.
Yeah. You know what'll happen though is the code will start at $30, and then in 3 years it'll be $70 again anyway. Just move.
Or even better, when you buy your book, you put in your local store's name, and we just get a deposit in our account.
Oh yeah, right.
Yeah, that's never gonna happen.
GW doesn't care about us.
It does not share power. So yeah, I just think like we're and from our perspective here, because we're moving to the part of the video where nobody watches, so we'll get real honest
exactly.
here. We're kind of at the point now where like Games Workshop's still making a ton of money off the book, because when we throw out 100 pounds of books, they've made all the money on that book.
Yep.
And we get to take the loss on that, right? So the risk is still very much at the bottom of the chain.
Yeah.
And it's not at the point yet where like it doesn't make any money for us, but it's definitely very diminished from where it was, even a few years ago. And I'm not quite 100% there yet, but if tomorrow Games Workshop said we're done with physical books, we're just going to do limited edition prints in like the release boxes we do with like Blood Angels and stuff. We'll put a fancy book in there. That's the only way we're going to print books now. Every army book, so every army that we re-release will have like a cool box that comes out and has a nice book and cards in it. If you want those things still, you can.
We gotta edit that out.
No, you got to keep that. I get all animated with my hands today.
Yep.
You have to buy that box, and some people will be upset by that, but ultimately, I think that might be a healthier way to move into the digital world, so that stores still have some physical things they can sell those people that want those things.
Yeah.
And they're not overproducing waste that kind of like ends up on the shelf and eventually gets chucked.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No. There's something. Something's got to give, especially if they're going to keep these cycles, these 3-year cycles. I think there's also a place for some of the specialist games, to maintain some books because they don't change those very often.
Yeah,
And, you know,
definitely.
And a lot of those are like thick books. Like if I think of the Horse Heresy books, there's like so much in them that I don't know. I think I would prefer to flip through book form than
Scroll through.
because it's just
Yeah.
like any of the like the HH Legion of Stars book is like just 300 pages of
Massive.
just rules and stuff. Yeah. No, I think now the only thing they need to do for those of us in Canada is they need to fix their their Quebec problem or whatever it is if they want people to they have I don't know if there's other regions in the world that have this problem. There probably is, where they can't I don't think I can get a Warhammer Plus sub because
Well, yeah. So we
can't sign up for one.
This isn't super common, but like in some countries in the world, you have protected rights for languages, and usually it's a second language of a protected people. So we have French-speaking people in Quebec, and they have language protection laws. So it creates a lot of problems because there's like Canadian laws that basically say like for any type of content you produce, you need to have a certain amount of French content or French language or represent in a certain way, right? Which I obviously I'm supportive of that. Like, they deserve to protect their language, but we need to figure out a way that we can watch Warhammer
and
TV.
it's silly because it's like not even that. It's like I don't even care to watch the shows, but it's the shows. There's nothing. The builder is fine. You can use the builder in whatever language you want, but there are like animated shows and stuff. They just haven't bothered to. I guess. Yeah,
because literally, I think they'd have to animate in some. If there's any credits or any sort of stuff, they have to put some French language stuff in there.
Yeah.
If they want to broadcast it in Canada, which is kind of funny. So
hopefully they sort that out.
Yeah, probably not though.
Probably
Canada's pretty small in the grand scheme of things. Unfortunately, we kind of get forgotten a little bit. A lot of the time.
Yeah, so we don't make too much noise. We're just gonna just keep our heads down.
That's a good way to be. I think. Yeah, you just gotta keep your head down. Well, what do you guys think? Are you ready for the new digital age? Do you want it to come sooner? Do you like your physical books? Are you tired of having to throw them out after a little while, or would you still prefer it the way it is? Or, hot take, which probably is never going to happen anyways, but we can dream. You want the physical books, and you would just like them to last a little longer, which is a reasonable take, but I don't think we're going backwards. Because it's hard to go backwards once you've cranked it up. It's hard to go back.
No, at some point we're going to be every 2 years.
Can you imagine? Oh my gosh, every other. Wow. Yeah, you could be right, but that would be.
They tried that experiment with the seasonal with the two handbooks in 1 year. It was like just a disaster.
It was a disaster. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've never seen people just like stop playing a game.
Yeah.
Like it was crazy. Yeah.
Well.
Anyways, thanks for watching, guys. Hope you enjoyed this. If you have any suggestions for topics, the best place to get those through is through our Patreon, at patreon.com/lordsofwargamesandhobbies. You can become a member for only a few bucks a month, and it helps support our channel, and we like to take suggestions and comments from there. So, yeah, until next time, guys, Take care.
Bye.